Yes, people. Welcome back to Let's Talk Everything. I'm your guy. Welcome. That talks about everything and anything. Yes, it's been a minute, and I didn't plan it to be like this. I really didn't. I got sick. I got really unwell. I think not last week, but the last 2 weeks before last week, if that makes sense. I got really unwell. Like I couldn't even tell you what it was. It was food poisoning type symptoms, like for example, cold sweats, can't really sleep, headaches. But weirdly enough, not throwing up. Would I say that's food poisoning symptoms? I don't know, but it was draining my energy, man. I was so restless. My body was aching as well. I woke up aching. Um, it was just difficult, man. Can't tell you what it was. Can't tell you what it was. Can't tell you if it was actually food poisoning. If anything, for me, especially for the line of work that I do, I could definitely say, I spoke on here on YouTube about unemployment and just how that was as well. I think if anything, it was just much more of my body saying, yeah, listen, you've gone through a tough time. I'm gonna give you an extra tough time to almost cleanse it away. You know what I mean? That it's like you almost have to go through the rough and tumble to get better kind of thing. It was a chance for me to sit down and sort of reflect on me, myself, and just my health, and just where I'm at the stage of my life as well. Where am I trying to head at as well? So like something that I might talk about in another video, but that's not what I'm really here to talk about, really and truly. But yes, I'm back as well, and obviously last week I went out glamping. Yeah, that's I would say, how was it if people would ask? I said, yeah, nice quality time. The quality time, there was no sense of, there was no signal on your phone. There was none of that. There was no Wi-Fi, anything like that. Went with the kids, went with my father-in-law, and went with my missus, cousin and stuff like that. So yeah, listen, quality time. The kids were happy. If the kids are happy and the missus is happy, then I'm happy, kind of thing as well. So I was there for a good, what's it, 5 days. You know what I mean? I said 5 days and stuff like that. Came back Sunday, rested Monday, today Tuesday. You feel me? So. Me, I have a nice sort of week before my store opens as well. Obviously, you guys know that I got a job as well. I ain't telling you where it is yet. I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, like my store's gonna be opening as well. I think by the end of this week as well. So we're back to work and hustling and bustling next week as well. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So that's my little check-in as well. Feel free to check in the comments as well. See how you're doing. See what's happening, what's popping and stuff like that. Whole everything as well. If you are tuning in for the first time to my channel, this is an underground YouTube space, man. This is not for the clicks, and I'm not trying to sell you stuff as well. This is for a guy like me who just does this just for fun. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, so this is the underground YouTube. That's what I call this place as well. So if you find this YouTube channel, man, that's good for you. It's something for you to put. You know what? There's nothing for me to watch on YouTube. Let me put this on the side, or I'm cleaning, or I'm driving to work, or whatever. I'm driving back home. You know what? I want to put something on as well. You can put something like this on. You feel me? So check out my recent videos as well, where I talk about the most random stuff as well. I talk about the line of work that I do as becoming a mental health therapist. I also talk about what is the best cereal out there. You know what I mean? It's just free from. You know what I mean? You feel me? So listen, today's video, I'm talking about Liverpool today. It's been a minute since I've spoken about Liverpool, and I felt this is a time for me. The Premier League just started. I went to Anfield as well for my first time going to Anfield for my for the pre-season game against Como as well. So I thought I might just put it all together. I'll give my thoughts as well on Liverpool. What is my expectations for Liverpool as well moving forward, and my sort of ideas, because it's absolutely crazy. We drew against Newcastle at St James's Park 2-2. And crazy stuff has been coming out as well. Conversation of Isak, Wirtz, Gary Neville speaking out, Jamie Carragher speaking out as well on Monday Night Football as well. I might just show you a couple clips as well, give my thoughts and stuff like that. But before that as well, as I might show as well while I'm editing and stuff like that, here are some videos at the trip to Anfield. Listen, let me tell you something now. It was a spontaneous thing. I remember going on the website. I thought, let me just check if there's tickets. You know what I mean? This was like the pre-season stage. And I thought, and I said, oh, the tickets are cheap. I said, the tickets are £35. I thought, God damn. As well, I thought to myself, I said, tickets are mad cheap. I said, right, yeah. I said to my boy, yo, but like, listen, I'm seeing some tickets. It says that, yo, book it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we all know going to Liverpool is very technical. Well, I find it very technical. If you guys know something, you know what I mean? Like, plug the man them. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, obviously I saw, okay, yeah, pre-season games. It was a chance to go up as well. So me and my boy drove up there. Let me tell you something now. Going to Anfield, and I've been to a few stadiums as well. Like obviously Palace is very local to me, so a couple of times going to Palace and to Millwall as well. Went to West Ham, so I've seen a couple stadiums. And I'm not sure if I'm being biased. I'm not sure if it's because of the fact that it's my first time at Liverpool. But I must say, what a fucking stadium! I'm telling you, what I like, and I bear in mind as well, like, obviously one day I would love to go to Bayern Munich. I would love to go to Dortmund as well, even Leipzig Stadium as well. Like, especially spending time playing FIFA as well. I see the stadiums. I thought, oh, that looks fucking lovely. Do you know what I mean? The Allianz as well, all of that type of stuff, especially the European sort of stadiums. But I must say, going to Liverpool and I was sitting down, I was like, God damn! Like, I was like, this is amazing, and it felt. And I can't remember what stand we was in, but I felt very close. I felt very close. Even when I was Liverpool have a very good way when you're buying your tickets, you can have almost like, and I think most when you go and buy tickets, you kind of have a preview of what the seating plan is like, what the view is like as well. But I must say, like, I was just in awe. Do you know what I mean? It was just fucking huge. Do you know what I mean? Like a huge stadium, and respectfully to the teams like West Ham and Palace and stuff like that. This is Liverpool what we're talking about, and do you know what? Like, it put rivals, emotions to the side. I can imagine even probably going to Manchester United as well. Oh, like to Old Trafford. Actually, to be fair, they're leaking in that. Their stadium leaks. You know what? Let me take that back. You feel me? I'm not even going to say too much. But just going to Liverpool was absolutely great as well. The Liverpool-Como game was a good game as well. Xhaka got onto the score sheet as well. Cody Gakpo scored as well. Do you know what? It's the feeling. Like, and do you know what's crazy as well? Like, sometimes when I watch games live, or like not live, sorry, but when I watch it on the TV as well. And when we score, I do sometimes get goosebumps. Like, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, yes, like you celebrate, but it feels like you're almost there as well. But I think this time actually being there, and obviously, yes, it was a pre-season game. I felt like, oh my gosh, it's so euphoric as well. Like, it's loud, it's really cheering on and stuff like that as well. First half was great. Second half, it kind of sort of tailed away as well. Como started getting a lot more of the ball and sort of the possessions, a few bit of grunting and stuff like that. And do you know what it was? It's a bit sad because I went to, I think it's an era where Slot just got sacked. We're seeing bits of Slot's football, and obviously we've got a new manager, and there are do you know what? It's not teething problems, I would say, but I think you've got a new manager coming in, a new set of players as well, a new set of tactics and instructions and formations to sort of go by. And I think it was an atmosphere, as much as I would say, even watching it on TV, it wasn't a euphoric sort of, Liverpool that I got. Even though we did score and I was really happy with Xhaka as well. Everybody was kind of clapping for Xhaka as well when he got on the ball as well. Like he was absolutely great. And seeing him against Newcastle and then watching him against Como, you're like, wow, like this kid is absolutely such a talent. Like, he's absolutely great. And then when Rojo came, he got a massive cheer, massive applaud, and he done great as well. There's a few challenges that he made as well. We was really happy. But I would honestly say you can still feel there's a lingering feeling of just unrest at Liverpool. Do you get what I'm saying? I think and do you know what it was? Even watching a Newcastle game, it makes you think, we just don't know, man. We just don't know. I think the Liverpool fan base is such an uproar. Now, I'm going to be very cautious not to say the same thing that other YouTubers say, or, what the top media say. I'm not here to sort of bash anyone as well. But to be fair, Richard Hughes, I'm looking at you. Edwards, I'm always going to be looking at the board. And said, what is your plan for Liverpool and our manager? Because I've said it in the group chat with the Mandem. I said, yo, if we don't back Iraloa, we failed the manager. Do you get what I'm saying? I think Iriola is a good manager, just the same as Slot. I would say that as well. Just the same as Slot, but we're not going to talk about Slot. But Andy Iriola is here, and he is a good manager, and he's at a team where he can excel. He can actually improve the players. But if we do not back him, we are going to fail him. Do you get what I'm saying? And it'll be so unfair that if the fan base turns on someone like Andy Iriola, because he's such a good coach as well. We did it with Slot as well, and you can argue we backed Slot in some sort of degree as well, but that's another sort of conversation. But anyways, I digress. But listen, going to Liverpool was absolutely great. I really enjoyed it. Really fun. It's always, and do you know what? Last time we went to the parade, it's so crazy to see just Liverpool fans. Like, I'm someone from London. You see different fans today. I saw, I went out today. I saw some Palace fans. Well, not Palace fans, but I saw some, people wearing Palace tops. Seen some Arsenal tops as well. Arsenal are everywhere, to be fair as well. Arsenal are literally everywhere. Wherever you are, you can see Arsenal fans everywhere. And listen, kudos to you guys as well. But the idea is that you see different sort of fans. But when you go to Liverpool, you're like, damn, it's just Liverpool fans. It's crazy. It's such a mad thing to me as well. But it's weird that everybody's in the same sort of place as well. But yeah, Mrs. still doesn't want us to live there, but I'm still trying to convince her that we can move there. But Liverpool played Newcastle at St. James's Park. We drew 2-2. Anthony Elanga got into the score sheet with Joe Willett coming on as well, scoring. Cody Gakpo equalised for us as well. And it looked like it was going to be a bad day in the office for Liverpool, man. First league game, 2-1. Then Victor Munoz came on as well. Andy Munoz came out and said that Iriola said that he just doesn't want us to be, he didn't want him to be passive. He wants them to attack. Got the penalty. And I feel sorry for Lewis Hall. I can't even lie. Do you know what I'm saying? Can't even lie. Lewis Hall had a great game. Had a very great game against Rio. Locked up Rio. And I'm going to say it now, people, about Rio and Gamoa. Listen, you're a 17-year-old kid. I think it's such pressure to be one of the starting wingers at a club like Liverpool, man. I think, players like Ria and Gomez, or the young players that come into the game, I always believe they should have there should be the understudy. There should be someone senior that you can look up to, that you can see, that you can watch, you could be inspired. Obviously, you had the likes of Salah as well. There's the likes of Gakpo. But I do think as well that if you're young, even if I was I said it to my boys, if I was, Arsenal and Max Diamond was our starting winger or starting player as well, I'd be like, nah, man, I do believe that we should give young players some sort of time. They should have people that, that are senior that they can look up to. And you can see that Ria and Gomorrah look lost on that right-hand side as well. I don't think he should be playing there as well. I genuinely don't think that. And going to St. James's Park, it's going to always be tough as well, because St. James's Park, it looks like another great stadium to go to as well. I would love to go to St. James's Park. You can tell the atmosphere is always buzzing and rocking. But can I say, if I'm not mistaken about this fact, Newcastle hasn't beaten us at St. James's Park for 11 years. I might be wrong. I need to fact check that. But I heard the commentator say something like that. If that's the case, that is crazy. I remember the Darwin Núñez as well, equaliser as well when we beat them. I remember the Ria and Gomoa as well. Do I remember any other games at St. James's Park? I remember the 3-3 when Curtis Jones scored that banger as well? Is it 3-3 at St. James's Park? Salah as well. But yeah, listen, Newcastle, pattern up. Well, don't pattern up. Don't pattern up, actually. Listen, it was always going to be tough for Isak as well to go St. James's Park as well. Alan Shearer came out as well and said that, listen, he would have liked if Isak took the penalty. And I can't even lie to you. Yes. Where is the cojones? Where is the dog in you? Do you know what I'm saying? I've been getting booed all game. And I know it's immense pressure, but listen, pressure's off for tires. Who's that? Was that Alan Shearer again? But listen, I tell you now, Isak should have took the penalty. Do you know what I mean? I definitely think that he should have took the penalty just to shut up the Newcastle fans as well. And that's for the game, man. And I think it gives you confidence. It gives you a boost as well, really, as well. I think Isak should have scored as well. I think for the morale, especially because he had a poor game as well. I think if you have an opportunity to take a penalty against your old team as well, fair enough. And it's weird that, and do you know what it is? I don't blame Newcastle fans for booing him. I think the way that they went out, I think for any sort of player as well, like, I think I wouldn't boo Trent. I'm not a booing type of guy. I wouldn't boo players, to be fair as well, mental health and stuff like that. But like, I could understand why fans will boo someone like Isak as well, especially how he left and everything as well. And then if you compare that to someone like Bruno Guimaraes, you know what I mean? He's not going to get booed when he plays at St. James's Park. But yes, I'll get on to Wirtz as well in a second as well, because I'm one of Wirtz's biggest fans, and I'm trying to protect Wirtz as well. So I'm going to be very biased towards someone like Wirtz. But speaking of Trent, fullbacks, Frimpong and Kirkes. Jeez Louise. That clip, and I think you guys seen it as well. There's no point of me trying to show you. I know you guys seen the clip of Frimpong trying to cross that ball, and it just it hits one of the Newcastle players, and then voila, they're off. Do you know what I mean? Look, it's the first game of the season, and I think Mont said it. For Mont's called Kirkes ADHD. Oh, that is crazy. I didn't say that. He said it. Right. Listen. It's the first game of the season. I don't want to crash out too much. Listen, if you don't lose the game, you have to. If you can't win the game, you draw the game, and that's what we did. St. James's Park, away from home, especially when you can see that there are there are issues in our team that we already saw in pre-season that we saw against St. James's Park. The way that, especially Elanga's goal, yes, Ryan Gravenberch, I think that opportunity, he should have played it to Szoboszlai, or I can't remember, but he was in a great position to play it to someone or have a shot himself. And the fact that that led to a counter, scary hours. And if I mind you, little side note, if Araujo was playing, he's getting taken out. He's getting taken out. I tell you that for free. Oh, no, not sorry, for Elanga's goal, for Joe Willock's goal, but that was for Wisa. I'm getting mixed up. Apologies, people. But I tell you now, people, with our fullbacks, it's not looking great. They need to pattern up. And I know that Frimpong can get into the byline, because last season he did that as well. Like, he can get to the byline. He can cross a ball as well. He can link up sort of play. Kirkes as well, there was an opportunity where he crosses the ball, and I think Isak wanted it on feet. Once again, I do genuinely think that this is my compassionate side to Liverpool. We have to give time to Liverpool, and I think us fans owe Andy Iraloa to give time. And people might say, oh, he had to, he didn't win his first 10 games at Bournemouth and stuff like that. And people might say, oh, but it's Liverpool Football Club. There is no point, like at this point, right, to start crashing out on the manager and also on the players for us to be in a position where we start thinking, oh, we need another manager, or we sack another manager, and then it's a vicious cycle. I told you, Man United has not recovered from that sort of model of sacking managers after manager, and look, they have not recovered. Chelsea, just about, they won their game yesterday as well. You can see that Xabi Alonso is doing something at their club as well. But you can see their thing as well. Sacking managers. They haven't really recovered as well. And both teams like the Chelsea and the United haven't won a Premier League in how many years? Do you get what I'm saying? Someone like Arsenal, they're stuck by with Arteta. And guess what? He eventually delivered, despite what you can say about Arteta, despite what you can say about Arsenal's style of playing football and stuff like that, at the end of the day, he still delivered a Premier League title, and you can't even hate on that. Do you get what I'm saying? Man City, let's see what happens with Enzo Maresca as well. But people might say, oh, we don't like Enzo Maresca's sort of type of football and stuff like that, or blah, 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 blah. I know Man City fans are slowly kind of questioning Enzo Maresca, but at the same time, I do believe in sticking with managers as well. Now, you can say, what, did you want to stay with Slot? Slot was a different sort of story as well, because I think he got a bit personal to the Liverpool fans. He got personal with Liverpool, and he started throwing jibs and jabs. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. And I don't think Andy Iraloa is that type of guy that will start throwing jabs as well. I think once you start losing the fans, it's a no-go. Do you get what I'm saying? Even when Jurgen Klopp was doing bad this season, of course he had credit in the bank and stuff like that. Of course, I hear that as well, compared to Andy Iraloa. But at the same time, even when his bad season, we still kind of went behind the manager as well, right? And I'm saying, yes, different circumstances, but Andy Iraloa, I think, deserves time as well. And I think at St. James's Park, I think he made a very good substitution to bring on the likes of McAllister, to bring on the likes of Munoz, the likes of Rojo, the likes of Kumas that came on as well. We still managed to get something. We managed to get a point out of it as well. Now, the question is it sustainable? That's the scary part as well. And do we have the players to achieve what we can do as well, to be in the top four? We know that I'm going to still put it out there. I'm always going to say, and I've always said it as well on my channel and stuff like that as well when it comes to Liverpool, start of the season, I'm always going to say that Liverpool can win the Premier League title, right? So I'm going to sit here and still say that Liverpool can still win the Premier League title. Sound crazy, call me delusional or whatever, but I'm going to stick with that delusional because I'm still going to have that standard for my club to be like, Liverpool can still compete, right? And still can win a title. You just never know, especially because it's such a freak of a season. I know Arsenal are there as well. They're trying to retain their Premier League title as well. Enzo Maresca has just started at Man City. Jabi Alonso just started at Chelsea. And Liverpool started with Andy Iriola as well. De Zerbi just started at Tottenham as well. There are very good teams out there as well. There are very decent squads out there that definitely can be in a conversation to compete. But I'm always going to say, this is just me, I'm always going to say Liverpool can win the Premier League title, right? And it's not a thing where if we do win, I'm like, oh, I told you so, I told you so. It's never that. It's just me saying I'm holding that sort of standards and stuff like that. But then we can't compete when we start seeing, it's not the tactics. I think it's just players. Likes of Manu Kone that's out there. What happened to him? Do you get what I'm saying? But there are midfielders out there. And I'm not here to suggest names. I always say, oh, tell me your names that you can say out there as well. Listen, at this point now as well, what I see as well is that I feel that Iriola needs a type of players to play in his sort of system. And we don't have those sort of players. I do believe that Andy Iriola went to Richard Hughes and the board and says, yo, I need certain players. I can't do stuff with the likes of Endo. Elliot is not in part of my plans. And as much as I love Elliot and I would want Elliot to stay, he's not part of the plans. We sold Curtis Jones. Do you know what I'm saying? And do you know what it is? Liverpool is not Andy Iriola here. It's not the players here. Liverpool board has put themselves in a position where clubs are being like, we know that Liverpool need players, so we're gonna charge a premium. We're going to put a premium price on that, especially because they know that Liverpool don't tend to buy players, right? For obviously, because we bought a player, yes, last season and stuff like that. But we're going to leave last season for a second as well. But traditionally, we've been asking for holding six since Fabinho left, guys. Since Fabinho left. When did Fabinho leave? I can't even tell you. You know when Fabinho left, right? But we've been asking for a holding midfielder since then. Look, Jamie Carragher comes out and speaks on it as well.
Listen, it's the first game of the season. But my fear is this window of 12 months ago.
And despite what you think of Jamie Carragher and stuff like that as well, it's kind of annoying that all these pundits and all these people come and talk about football. That's a whole nother sort of conversation and stuff like that. But look what he talks about.
Set Liverpool back a year or two. I really do, to fix it. Now, don't forget, last season it was not about these players. You said on the podcast yesterday, these players have got off lightly, and you're right, because it was all about Arne Slot and his style of playing. He's not.
Now, quickly, just can I just say about Jamie Carragher quickly? It's interesting that he started off with speaking to Andy Iriola at the Amex as well, just talking to him. And then all of a sudden on Monday Night Football, we have him just bashing on the likes of Wirtz and Isak, right? And yes, of course, Liverpool fans could look at it and be like, yes, the likes of Isak and Wirtz need to step up, right? It's a tough one because they went for a lot of money, and people would always argue, could we have spent that money on different sort of players and stuff like that if we could have got a good scouting team and stuff like that? And to be fair, I do hear that in some sort of regard. Look how much we bought Mane, the likes of Bobby Firmino's, the likes of Salah for dirt cheap, and that was good. Michael Edwards, what do you say? Michael Edwards with his laptop, finding these gems of players and then buying these type of players, and they're becoming one of the superstars like that, like the Bobbies, the Salahs, the Gini Wijnaldums, and what I mean, the likes of Fabinho's as well. You remember even the Fabinho that came out of the blue. Do you know what I'm saying? We bought Fabinho and boom, voila, that changed everything. Do you know what I'm saying? That for our team. But I think football's not like that as well. And I think Liverpool know that, and especially because the conversation of, another So is it the Amazon, Jeff Bezos, or other people? I don't want to trying to invest into the club, or sell shares of the club as well. It's becoming a thing, and we'll see what happens with that. But we can see that players are going for ridiculous sort of prices. But then this is why I said I felt I questioned it, and with Liverpool's board. Are you the club that wants to bring back the laptop guys? Okay, let's look for these type of players, these gems as well, and get them for dirt cheap. And we know that these players are going to be, the future of our team as well. And we can see the trajectory and see that, okay, that these guys will going to go up and develop to be superstars and be great for our club. Or do you want to sign the players like the Isak and the Wirtz for the big dollars? But if you are going to do that, you have to keep up. You have to keep up. So that's the question of Liverpool's board. What are you guys doing? Do you get what I'm saying? And that gives an idea to IRAOLA. Okay, this is what I'm setting up my team for. This is the idea of Liverpool that I have, because Liverpool's idea is, are they gonna find these gems and stuff like that, like the group, like Bournemouth did with the Krupies, the Ryans and so forth as well. The Housens and that came through as well. And now look what they've gone to do as well. So it's a club like Liverpool. Can we sign those type of players? You feel me? But then again, we saw the likes of, but are we going to be the guys to sign the likes of Elise's and stuff like that for crazy amount of money and stuff like that?
Like Jurgen Klopp, and he's holding these players back. Yes, it's one game with IRAOLA, but we're talking 12 months of underperformance, because it was all about Arne Slot and his style of playing. He's not like Jurgen Klopp, and he's holding these players back. Yes, it's one game with IRAOLA, but we're talking 12 months of underperformance from all of these players except him. If this doesn't change in the next 2 or 3 months under IRAOLA and these players improving, I think we're going to be looking at that as arguably the worst transfer window we've probably seen in Premier League history.
And then when it comes to conversation like worst Premier League transfers and stuff like that, I think it's just so damaging. It's just so damaging. I don't like these wording. I'm very cautious about language and stuff like that as well. Being very cautious how you phrase certain things and stuff like that. It's not going to be arguably the worst transfer. I know you said arguably, and listen, trying to be fancy with these type of words as well to make it seem. I'm not really saying that, but you are basically saying that as well. So you might as well just say it is the worst transfer window in your opinion, right? Because I guess if it is your opinion, it is your opinion. And I don't think it is the worst transfer window at all, because you can argue other teams can say the same thing as well. I think it's just the fact that as well it seems to me, in my opinion, that we've got incompetent people upstairs that is choosing not to back the manager and choosing to fail the manager by not investing players as well, right? And I think it was always the narrative with FSG. If we make it to top 4 in Champions League, then it's okay as well, right? And we saw this pattern of play under Jurgen Klopp, saw a bit of it under Slot as well. We don't need a number 6. We don't need a number 6 as well. Liverpool don't need a number 6. And then Slot had to improvise and we use Ryan Gravenberch, which can be one of our detriments as well. Has sort of become as well, because we can see that Ryan Gravenberch is not a holding number 6 as well. You see how how he moves forward, especially against the Newcastle game. He was the one that was further forward as well, alongside Dominic Szoboszlai, who was he was the holding 6 there, right? And then boom, right, like Elanga was able to duck out Kirkes as well, and we was left in 6s and 7s, and then look, they scored from that. So in my head as well, I think to myself, Liverpool board, the question is always going to be, what is your plan for Liverpool Football Club, and what is your plan for Andy IRAOLA? If he's the manager that you're thinking that we can take us to the top, as I believe he can, you need to back the manager. Now, there's also other things that has come up into the surface as well. Look, people say that Wirtz is the worst player on the pitch on Sunday, such an overhated player. Listen, that's what I think has happened. I think with social media, with people having such opinions and stuff like that, and one of them as well sharing my opinion and so forth, that it is a bit crazy how much that people really hate on certain players. And don't get me wrong, standards, we have to upkeep standards as well. We want players like Wirtz to step up as well. Like last season, you can say, yeah, it's the first season. Second season, this is a coming of age where you have to really have an imprint onto the team as well. And I do believe Wirtz will still be there. It's the first game of the season, guys. And I genuinely think that Wirtz can still, like, for example, we can banter like Man United for losing against Hull, but guess what? If they actually do really well, and at the end of the season, are we gonna say to Man United, "Oh my gosh, you lost against Hull"? And it's the same thing with Wirtz. Yes, now people are getting onto Wirtz, but let's say he had a great game. Let's say he has a great game against Nottingham Forest. Are we gonna start saying, yeah, like, no, wipe it to the hate there? So this is what I mean about how inconsistent people are gonna be. They're gonna overhate you today. The next week is gonna be you're the best player in the world kind of thing. Look, Jamie Carragher was glazing Cole Palmer yesterday on Monday Night Football, but if you heard him a couple months ago, he was crashing it out on Cole Palmer. All right, so it swings and roundabouts. It's inconsistent. No one's really consistent with their thoughts. But what I'm gonna keep consistent is protecting someone like Wirtz. This whole thing, a notion about Wirtz drifting to the side, to the left and stuff like that. I noticed about a thing as well, especially when I watched it in the common game. He ghosts that, and I think that's a Wirtz problem. I think Wirtz has a problem within himself that where he ghosts in games. I don't think it's a tactical thing, because I do believe he has players around him that can actually support him as well, like the Szoboszlai, the Gravenberch and so forth as well. But I think he gets a bit confused. Should I be along behind the striker, or should I drift out wide as well? But then you will have Gakpo and Wirtz on the left wing and stuff. But in my head, I'm thinking, Wirtz, what are you doing as well? And I do believe he has a good football education to understand that, bro. Stick to your sort of position behind the striker, in that sort of 10 sort of position. I think that is something as well, because that we just got sacked to Slot, and Slot wanted Wirtz to pick up the ball from deep, and next thing you know, he wanted Wirtz to drive forward as well. Nah. And I remember Andy Iraloa said that, he wants Wirtz to shoot more and have a shot more, assist more and stuff like that. I think that will be coming as well. But I think Wirtz definitely himself as well, get your fitness up, and it's not saying that you're not fit or anything like that, but so you can last a 90 minutes as well, because Wirtz is still a game changer. You still want to keep someone like Wirtz. People used to say about Salah might not do anything in the game, but keeping Salah on the bench, he might give you an assist, he might give you a goal, or he might make something happen. And I believe that Wirtz is one of those type of players as well. But I think Wirtz himself gets a shell within himself. I think he starts enclosing himself, and I think the game goes past him as well. And I think people have it with Bruno Fernandes. Man United fans have it with Bruno Fernandes. When the game is not going too well, Bruno Fernandes is the opposite, where he just starts spamming long balls, or he starts doing just like these Hollywood passes for no reason, instead of having sort of composure, where I think Wirtz just starts becoming within himself. And I genuinely believe there are certain archetypes of players that you just have to have your arm around. You just have to be like, you know what, you've got this. And I hope Andy Iraloa still keeps him under his wing and be like, listen, you're still my number one guy. You're still my number 10. You still you're still the face of Liverpool. You are the future of Liverpool. You are the guy that can unlock, a lot of things as well, like the Ryan Shirkies and stuff like that. I genuinely believe that as well. Right? What's it?
You would think Florian Wirtz was the reason Liverpool lost that game. You'd think Florian Wirtz was the worst player on the pitch. You'd think Florian Wirtz is the reason Liverpool can't get wins and there's the massive hole in the system. All of these statements weren't true about yesterday's game, and I actually think in the first half he was one of the better players on the pitch. Less is being spoken about the two in the pivot behind Florian Wirtz and the two fullbacks in our team, which are way worse in terms of our build-up, in terms of how we can move forward, in terms of the defensive security.
No, I think he's right, and I know that I'm hearing that Szoboszlai is getting a bit of hate as well. People are saying Szoboszlai is not a 10, he's not holding midfielder. People are saying that Szoboszlai should probably go back to right back as well. Listen, I'm not a manager. I'm not here going to tell you that I'm a tactical nous and stuff like that as well. I think I'll look. I think it's relationships, innit? And I think it's, like I said as well, I'm just giving it time. That's my stance. If you ask me what my stance is, I'm just going to give Iriola sort of time to fix this sort of thing that's going on as well. Especially when McAllister starts getting into the mix of being in the first team play as well. Who's it going to be? McAllister, Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch or Szoboszlai? We will see as well. I still feel like it's much more of a dynamic thing. I think it's much more of a relationship type of thing. Players getting used to how to what is Isak's runs, what is Wirtz's runs and stuff and so forth as well. What is Szoboszlai's run? Okay, who's staying back as well? I think that just needs to be much more perfected, and I think playing games is a reason why to build up that sort of relationship, to understand. Hopefully Newcastle was a good example to, go away, watch the game and reflect, and Andy Iraloa can say, okay, look at these issues, and this is something that we can work on as well. I think we, as Liverpool fans, I think generally we need to give it time. I don't think we should start criticizing players. Yes, of course, people might criticize players, like, of course, and you have every right to do that as well. But for me, on my stance is where I'm just looking at it and thinking, I just want to give it some sort of time and just wait. I want to see the first 5 games and see what happens as well. Then I'll come about and be like, all right, cool. This is what I'm seeing and so forth as well. What I'm doing this video here right now, what I'm speaking more about is our board. And it's our board, like I said, I don't want us to fail the manager. Well, I don't want the board to fail this manager. That's my biggest concern. If anything, it's not about the players, it's not what's happening on the pitch, it's not Andy Iraloa, it's not Florian Wirtz, it's not so much Jeremy Frimpong, it's not so much Szoboszlai, it's not so much Kirkes, it's not much, even Madamashvili, it's not so much of on these guys and stuff like that. It's so much more on the board. What are you doing to help Liverpool compete in this Premier League season? That's my only thing. What are you guys on? That's why, for example, I wanted to do this video after this transfer window to see what happens and stuff like that. But once again, I felt like I needed to speak and just share my opinion as well, right? Cool. So that's what happens. But this guy's spot on as well. There are people that are criticising the likes of Szoboszlai and the likes of Ryan Gravenberch, the likes of our fullbacks as well. And you have every right to. And when I hear that, it's not saying, oh, you guys are wrong, or you guys need to stop hating and stuff like that. No, you guys actually have a point as well to criticise on Jeremy Frimpong. Because when you see him Frimpong try to cross the ball, but he doesn't actually cross the ball and he gives it to the other player, bruh, you're thinking, what the hell? Even Jeremy Frimpong, there's an opportunity where he crossed the ball. I was like, cross the ball. He's doing dilly-dallying. He loses the ball. Lewis Hawk tackles him, and then voila, we lost an opportunity.
Yet they're complaining that Wirtz didn't foul someone or do defensive work. And guys, if you are a Liverpool fan, make sure you comment what you think of Florian Wirtz down below, and also drop a follow for daily Liverpool content. Do I think Florian Wirtz has lived up to the price tag? No.
And guys, and this price tag thing as well, it got to stop. Like, and this transfer window, we've seen how much the inflation of prices has gone crazy. It's not about living up to the price tag, because you can never define that. For me, is yes, you can say that, but I think that's just fancy talk. Like, I don't think that Florian Wirtz should live up to his price tag. I think he should live up to the talent that he already has. It's about the talent. Florian Wirtz is a talented footballer, and there's no denying that. No one can ever say to me, or someone can say that Florian Wirtz is not a talented player, right? But then again, can he live up to his talent?
Florian Wirtz has really impressed me. No.
These are my takes, these are my thoughts, and my thoughts only. I might be wrong. You can feel free to criticize what I'm saying as well. You might be saying I'm chatting shit and this guy doesn't know what he's talking about and stuff like that. Fair dues as well, but feel free to comment and helps the algorithm.
I think he's been underwhelming. I don't think he's been a great player. I don't think he's done exactly the 116 million. I do think we overpaid for him. But do I think
that's what I don't get. It's not Florian Wirtz saying, yeah, guys, I'm a 116 million player. It's not him going saying that. It's what Bayer Leverkusen and Liverpool negotiate, because of course nowadays these are the prices. Listen, if I had to play for Florian Wirtz, at the time that he was, I can't lie, I'm still saying 60, 70 M's. He's a 60, 70 M player. If I had to pick, if I have to be sort of realistic, right? 160. When you go to 100 sort of players, to me, you're talking about Elise's, you're talking about Harry Kane's, you're talking about Jude Bellingham, you're talking about the likes of even Vinicius. Like, you're talking about those are 100 million players as well. The thing about Florian Wirtz is that I say 60, 70 because you're buying his talent and you're buying your future prospect. You're not necessarily buying the ready-made sort of player, because I still feel like Florian Wirtz has a lot of football education to learn. I feel like he still needs to develop and so forth. And then later on, he can be that 100. But I believe he's a 160 million player at Liverpool. Do you get what I'm saying? He plays for 5 years and he grows to be this world-class player. That's when he becomes. But you see the 116 players that you say, okay, I want to buy that player right now. That's what I'm saying. Hurricanes, the Olises and stuff like that. Those are the type of players.
One of the worst players in our team. Not a chance. There are so many players in such a bad team at the moment in terms of form, and a team that's learning a new system under a new coach that completely isn't that good defensively at the moment and have got other problems in the team. Why is he the focus of the media? And I get it, you're tired of me saying he needs runners, he needs people that can fizz the ball into him, even though I still think it's true. But there's so many bigger issues in the team than Florian Wirtz, I promise you.
Well, it's true. I think the likes of having people like Chiesa still on the books, and respectfully to Chiesa, I don't know why he's here. The likes of Endo, I don't know why you're here, G. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Respectfully, and I like Endo. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't think you're the standard for Liverpool. So why is he on the books as well? But we want to crash it on the likes of Florian Wirtz. Look, I don't want to spend too long. I've already spent a long time doing this, but nevertheless, listen, people. The general consensus on my thoughts, my take as well, just sharing it with you guys. I think we should give Andy Iraloa time. I think we should give the players time. If anyone that should get stick or hold accountability is the board. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, John W. Henry. What are you doing for Liverpool Football Club? If you know that you know what, you can't compete with these guys that can spend 100 and X amount of players and stuff like that, or you only can do it for one season like last season, and you say you can't do it for the next 2-3 seasons, then sell the club. Sell the club to people to investors that actually can spend those type of money, and we can compete. Because let's not kid ourselves as well, guys. Liverpool is still. I still believe that Liverpool is a top club. It's not I believe. Liverpool is a top club. Liverpool can still win the Premier League. And with the group of players that we have as well, even Van Dijk is still at his age now, even with a Florian Wirtz that is still, going through the paces right now, even with an Isak and stuff like that, I still believe that Liverpool can still compete and actually challenge for the title. Do you know what I mean? I still think we are such a good team and we actually have a good manager. But if we don't back our manager and we don't back the players, then we're just going to fall off, man. We're generally going to be we're going to be like the Man Uniteds, man. And we don't need that because Liverpool's such a big club for us to fall off like we did many years ago. We don't need that. So this is my take on Liverpool. That's what it is. We'll see after the transfer window. Obviously, for me, with Liverpool games, I won't do necessarily reviews after every single game. I think I might do review after every 5 games and stuff like that as well. I think I don't want it to be so consumed with I don't want my channel to be so consumed with football content all the time as well. Do you know what I mean? I want to talk about other stuff as well. So yeah, and with that being said, my Spider-Man Brand New Day trail review will be next as well. I will chop that up as well, and I will I'll talk about that. But yeah, people, man, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. Take care.